What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I want to talk to you guys this morning about the significance of the A side, and I'm going to give you two examples. I'm going to give you Floyd Money Mayweather, and I'm going to give you Anthony Joshua. Okay, now let's start with Anthony Joshua. Being the A side is the side that negotiates for the B side in order for the B side and the A side to come together. The B side must admit or accept the concessions placed by the A side. Okay, some of them they do, some of them they don't, but eventually they do come to some type of compromise. For the example of the long-going negotiations between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, there were certain things and certain fights that were placed in order for another fight to happen. Okay, those guys were supposed to fight two separate times this year, either later this year or next year, and the proposition was fight Dillian White for $5 to $7 million, and then get Anthony Joshua as an attachment for April 13th. And the Wilder camp said no. Okay, so it was basically a two-fight deal. You fight someone else, you fight Dillian White, then you beat Dillian White, then you fight Joshua. Okay, and that's roughly about $22-23 million. $20+ million that Deontay Wilder's camp would have received for this two-fight deal. Okay, now you have another example of Floyd Money Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Okay, you guys remember that the viral video that was in the Japanese club where Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather were there, and Mayweather was saying, hey, let's get this fight popping in December. Remember that? And it had everyone like, whoa, part two, Maypac 2, right? And this fight was, just based off of viral video. And people bought it. You know what I mean? I bought it. Everyone ate it up simply because that's how the first fight really happened. These guys were both at the same place at the same time. They were at a basketball game. I can't remember who was playing, but it didn't even matter because those two fighters were there, and it created so much buzz. These guys actually talked face to face, and later on this fight happened. Shortly after it was announced. Okay, now the fight between these guys have yet to see if it's going to actually happen. Floyd is a flip-floppy kind of guy, because he's supposed to be fighting on Ryzen now or whatever. But, the deal was he did say, hey, if, it was in place to fight Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao wanted to fight with Floyd Mayweather, a rematch. So he fights one fight as a tune-up and then gets Mayweather. That was everyone's assumption. All right. But now, he's fighting Broner. So the winner out of Broner and Pacquiao could possibly get Mayweather. All right. So those are deals attached. Now, let's go back and revisit, the first negotiation of AJ and DW, right? All right, well, everyone was pissed on certain sides of the spectrum. There's no need to call names. The supporters of Wilder, they were like, oh, this is horse shit. This is bullshit. AJ's ducking. No one does that. Who fights one fighter to get another fighter, right? And everyone, other boxing channels, the Wilder supporting channels, they had everything bad to say about that. Like, why would you fight White? And no, that's bullshit. They're just trying to, smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Oh, they're just trying to build a wedge between, Deontay and AJ. See? But then yet, Pacquiao wants to fight Mayweather for a rematch. Okay? And Mayweather pretty much does the same thing. Mayweather and Heyman, they pretty much get Manny Pacquiao to sign with Al Heyman because Manny Pacquiao is chasing the Floyd fight. He's been chasing that fight, you know. And Floyd made all that damn money and was like, I'm not fighting him anymore. More than likely, he'll fight him when Pacquiao beats the shit out of Broner, which I'm hoping. I'm hoping he beats Broner up. My personal opinion. Will it happen? That remains to be seen because that all depends on what condition Manny is in. You know what I mean? But if Manny is in any kind of fighting shape and he still has that speed, power, and his reflexes are there, he should beat the shit out of Broner. And Broner needs one good payday before he say, I hope it's a good fight. I mean, I don't like anybody getting just beat up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, what's the point? That's just like looking at it. That's like bullying almost to me. I don't like a bully. I hate bullies, but but I hope that happens. That's my personal opinion. But if he beats him, they should, or it's a possibility of him getting Floyd. But he did that to get Floyd. He didn't get that to fight Broner. You see what I'm saying? He didn't get that. He didn't make that jump to Heyman to fight anyone else but Floyd. He could have stayed. He could have went to anywhere else. But he wanted the Floyd fight because that's where Floyd resides with Al Heyman. That's his papa. That's his business papa, right? So that's what he did. That's why he did that, okay? And there you go. So when you hear these other channels supporting, oh, well, the first fight, if you fight Broner, then after the Broner fight, if he gets past Broner, the winner fights, Mayweather or possibly fights Mayweather. Now, you notice that none of these channels are butthurt or blasting Mayweather. You see what I'm saying? None of them are doing that. You see what I mean? And it is because he's American or he's black or both. And I think just because he's black American, that's the reason. You know what I mean? No one's saying shit. No one's complaining, which they should be, because if you're going to complain about AJ and what they gave the negotiations on what they wanted Deontay to do versus what they're making Manny do, they're pretty much doing the same thing. It's the same shit, right? It's just not an exact contract that's making Manny do that, but Manny signed a 2-fight deal with Al Heyman. Okay? So my thing is, okay, why is it such a double standard? Why isn't it someone saying, well, ain't that bullshit that Floyd got Manny to sign with him or sign with Al Heyman, his business papa, to fight him, but then when he signs with him, the first thing Mayweather says, oh, I don't give a fuck about what Manny Pacquiao's doing. See, because that they were just trying to get him to sign. So now it's not really even definite if he does. Oh, let's hope he does. You know what I mean? But even if it is the case, right? It still was a fight that he fought to fight another fight. So I don't see why these guys on these other channels are all blasting AJ and Eddie Hearn for something that their boy that they praise, they have nothing to say. They have nothing to say about that. Now they'll pull that card. Well, Manny has the best fights, available there, but he did not sign with anyone. You guys already know he wanted Mayweather. He didn't want, hey, let me get Broner, then no, he wanted Mayweather. He would have been satisfied if in January it would have been Mayweather and that would have been a wrap. There was no sense of signing 2-fight deals. But Al Heyman's a slick businessman, and Floyd knew, hey, let's get Mayweather. Because let's get Manny Pacquiao. Because remember when Mayweather, when the negotiations before they actually fought, like 13, 14, even 2012, a part of that year, I think this was before Manny got knocked out, mind you. Floyd wanted Manny Pacquiao to sign with TMT. You remember that? If we can go back, he wanted him to sign with their promotional company. That's what he wanted. Now, he finally got what he wanted at the end of the day. Just like Eddie Hearn really wanted Deontay Wilder to sign Deontay Wilder. As you can remember before the start, he said, I can make him massive amounts of more money than he's ever made. And that's true. But with Manny, I don't know if that would have been a good, good move at that time, simply because Bob Arum did take care of his fighters. You know what I mean? I mean, he did pay them, but people have had problems with Bob Arum, so he's not squeaky clean. So I'm not saying he has no flaws, okay? I'm just saying that, hey, both of these guys, being the A side, did the same thing. They did it because they can. They have the money, they offer the money to the B side, and, it's either the B side accepts it or rejects it, right? That's it. So those are the two examples of how the A side runs things, and how the A side can make these type of demands, and that's how it is. So both of these guys did the same thing, and mind you, these guys hang out together. These guys are not, you never see Mayweather say one bad thing about Anthony Joshua. In this whole debacle, you never heard Mayweather say, "Hey, I think AJ's ducking. Hey, I think AJ should take the 50 million." You never heard him say anything regarding that. He has nothing to say, because he's probably sitting back thinking, you know what, I will make him do the same thing. Why? Because he made Manny Pacquiao. He's making Manny Pacquiao do the same thing, doing the same type of process. You know why? Because they simply can, because that's what people on the A side do. And that's it. You guys tell me what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.